You do not need an apology to move on. As nice as it is to get an apology, you don't need it. We have all experienced people who have badly, badly hurt us, wronged us, or just made our lives miserable. Sometimes we can actually wait around for years for an apology that is never going to come. And we end up staying stuck in that very place. We don't allow ourselves to move on because we've not had the I'm sorry. You do not need to stay in that place, no matter what's happened to you. Don't allow the actions of someone else to chain you down and make you feel stuck. The apology you are waiting for is not something you need to validate your feelings or to justify the truth of what's happened to you. The hurt you feel is real and nobody can take that away. Recognize and honor the pain that you are in. That's so important in order for you to be able to move on. Do not sweep it under the carpet because nothing ever good comes from that, and all emotions eventually have to find their way up to the surface. And you do not want to be that type of person that 8 years from now completely blows up while you're trying to buy broccoli at the grocery store. Deal with the hurt head on. Process your emotions properly. And guess what? You do not need someone else's I'm sorry to do that for you. I promise you, I've been there. Many of us have heard the quote that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Sometimes we can hold off releasing our forgiveness because we actually don't get the apology that we so desperately seek because it validates what's happened to us. Or that's what we think. You don't need someone to say sorry in order to forgive them. I've had some people who have really hurt me in quite serious ways. And I've had to rest in the fact, and they will never truly understand the pain and the hurt that they've caused me. But I choose to forgive. Am I saying that it's easy?
Hell no, am I saying it's easy. It is not easy.
But let me tell you a little something about forgiveness. And I want you to listen to this. Forgiveness is a process and it's a choice. It's not a feeling. Many times we don't often feel like forgiving someone. Forgiveness is a process and it is a choice. Forgiveness, for the most part, unless it's for something very, very, very small, is not an instant switch. For the deep, deep hurts that I know some of you have been through, this is an analogy that's actually really helped me deal with situations like that. Forgiveness is like chopping down a massive oak tree. It's swinging that axe day after day, week after week, month after month, and sometimes, I've been there, year after year. At some point, the tree is going to fall down. Forgiveness is like swinging that axe. It's choosing to swing that axe every day. It's a process of cutting down that big oak tree. It's a process. It's a choice. It's not going to come overnight, and that's okay. In the moments where the last thing that I want to do is forgive, I think about that big tree and I make the choice, and even though I don't feel like it, I still choose to continue chopping down that tree. And sometimes I even have to say it out loud so I can hear it myself. I forgive so-and-so. I forgive you. I forgive blah, blah, blah. Forgiveness sometimes can be the hardest decision, especially when you have been violated, hurt, abused. It can be extremely hard, but you're not doing it for them. You're doing it, you're choosing to forgive for you. You forgive to release yourself. You don't forgive to excuse what's been done to you. And from a Christian point of view, we forgive because God first forgave us. And I always have that also playing in my head as well. Perhaps you actually need to forgive yourself. That can also be sometimes even harder than forgiving someone else. Maybe you made some really bad choices. Maybe you hurt someone that you love. Maybe you betrayed someone. Maybe you possibly hurt yourself and you feel ashamed and you feel guilty. You need to make a choice today to forgive yourself. And then you need to go and make amends with whoever you need to. Things like this can hold you back in life for decades, not just weeks or months or years, decades, if you don't get this right. If you found some value in this video, it would really help me if you shared it, liked it. If you want to be part of our family here, subscribe and make sure you hit on that bell so you know when the next video is coming, which usually happens on a Friday.
I'm aiming for the